What is going on, everybody? Ninja here, and I have heard so many different misconceptions about knifing over the course of time, and frankly, I've had enough. But I'm ready to kind of share my thoughts and opinions on what it means to knife and to be a knifer, and hopefully clear up some of these misconceptions that people have. I heard it in Team Caliber, with people in the chat and that sort of thing who were bashing knifing, saying that it was stupid or didn't take any skill or was pointless or whatever the case was. I've heard it in game chat, obviously, people saying that it takes no skill and just all around criticizing knifing as a whole. I've seen it on Twitter, people saying that knifing shouldn't even be in the game, or that knifing's overpowered, or just all sorts of ridiculous things. And I think that a lot of this kind of stems from people not really understanding what it means to knife or to be a knifer, because maybe they don't see my gameplay or gameplay of others who are running around knife only, doing knife only commentaries and stuff like that. So I don't think they really have a true understanding of what it actually means when you are going knife only. I think that a lot of people, just the general perception of the public when it comes to knifing is that, maybe somebody is panic knifing with a gun in their hand, and trust me, that bothers us knifers too when we're running around with a knife and we get panic knifed by somebody with a gun. Trust me, it's just as annoying to us as it is to you guys. But that is an issue. Panic knifing to me is probably the biggest thing that people assume, when they're thinking about knifers. Of course, there's people who lay around corners waiting for people to come to them to get knifed, and there's people who run around with riot shields, who use the throwing knife and that sort of thing. All these things are probably the things that people think about whenever they're consider somebody to be a knifer. Instead of seeing the gameplays, that those of us who actually do truly run around knife only, actually do. And I think that's probably where the biggest misconception comes from, and unfortunately I think that is the biggest hurdle for us who knife, as far as YouTube is concerned. I think a lot of people just think that of knifing and think very poorly of knifing because of the things that I just listed. And with that being said, I think that's probably the reasons why that knifing will never become a mainstream thing on YouTube, just because of the way that people think about knifing and what people consider knifing to actually be. A lot of people just don't see the skill around it and what it actually means to be a knifer. As you see in this gameplay, and as you've seen with any other gameplays when I am running around knife only, is I am always moving. It's the same with the rest of the knifers. We are constantly moving, never standing still, always rushing. It takes a ton of map knowledge, knowing where people are spawning, knowing the high traffic areas, knowing proper flank routes, knowing where people like to sit. There is a ton of things that you got to be aware of as a knifer. Not to mention that if we're going for feeds, we're trying to get quad feeds on screen and that sort of thing. We don't have the luxury that snipers and rig gunners do of sitting back and picking people off in their spawn, which is almost the case that I see with every single gun montage. We have to be in their face as knifers. We have to be right up in them, trying to take them out, while they're firing their guns in 2 or 3 bullets and taking us out immediately. And with that being said, that's where I've also heard another complaint is with stun grenades. People are always complaining, about knifers getting feeds with stun grenades. And while it is definitely more impressive to get a feed without using stuns, I don't have that big of a deal with people using stuns, because stuns don't really work in this game. And plus, with how fast you die as a knifer in this game, I don't necessarily have a problem with people using stuns to get feeds. To me, it's more impressive to not use stuns, yes, but in the end, feeds in this game running knife only are very, very impressive. Of course, the main thing, this might sound like a smart-ass thing to say, but we don't have guns. We're not using guns, we're not shooting bullets, we don't have that luxury when we're running around with knives. People seem to forget that when they're complaining about people running with knife only. You have a gun, you can sit back and pick us off. Don't complain that we're running around without a gun and we're killing you, because that just makes you sound foolish to me. I think that's completely foolish thing to say when you're complaining about knifing. So that is all that I've got today. Again, I don't think knifing will ever be mainstream, unfortunately, because of the misconceptions that people have about knifing. But maybe some people who don't understand knifing, or don't think knifing takes any skill, will hear this commentary and kind of realize where I'm coming from. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you are not a knifer and you've got questions in regards to knifing or some of the things that we do as knifers, please be sure to drop them down in the comments below, and I will definitely try to answer your questions with the best of my abilities. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you with the next one. Peace.